And I hope all of our student athletes here learned a little bit of a lesson. Next up, we have Hadley Horton from North Carolina.
When I was younger, Christmas was always my favorite season. I would watch Hallmark's Christmas in July and constantly count down the days until the season. Besides the excitement of decorating the house, gifts, and all the festive chaos, what I looked forward to most was writing letters to my elf on the shelf, Tommy. From Thanksgiving until New Year's, I wrote to him religiously. It was ingrained into my routine. Every night, I would write a letter and leave it on the dresser in the hallway, and as soon as I woke up, I would run to the hallway to see what he left me. Some questions I asked were silly, like how many siblings do you have? What's your favorite Christmas movie? While other questions felt more urgent. Why do people get sick, and do angels really watch us? Tommy was more than just a scavenger hunt each morning or a magical Christmas decoration, but he was my pen pal and my grounding place. I poured everything into my letters, from anxieties to questions, in search for a reply that would steady me. I asked Tommy if he could write past New Year's, and sometimes we continued to the summer. Years later, I was once on my mom's phone, and I saw Tommy's typed-up responses in her notes app. I then realized Tommy wasn't flying to the North Pole every night, but it was my mom. Despite knowing this, I said nothing, and I continued to write. The same woman who was responding to me every night was caring full-time for my dad as he battled Parkinson's and CTE, the same mom who was a CEO running her own company and raising 2 daughters. Despite the exhaustion, the medical appointments, and all the business calls, she still found time to create a magical world for my sister and I to help us through difficult times. Through letters and tiny acts of care, she taught me that love doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it quietly anchors you. And when I reflect on Tommy's impact on my life, I understand that belief in something bigger than yourself can oftentimes get you through difficult times. My dad then passed away when I was in the 2nd grade. At that age, I didn't have the capacity to understand what was happening. I didn't have peers who had gone through the same thing, and there were limited resources to guide me. I didn't have the vocabulary for grief, but I felt it anyway, the way my world tilted overnight. My dad was a professional football coach. He lived and breathed the game, and he poured that same energy and passion into our family. Losing him so young left a hole I couldn't name, but one I carry everywhere. At first, I thought grief was something that would fade, like a storm that comes and passes. But as I grew, I learned grief doesn't vanish. It changes and it follows you. It doesn't schedule itself. It sneaks in on birthdays and milestones, and after a long day when the hug you used to count on isn't there. It also creeps up again when you think about the future. My college soccer games he won't cheer for, the wedding he won't walk me down the aisle at, and the grandchildren he'll never meet. People often say time heals everything, but that isn't true. Time can't bring back someone you lost, and time can't erase grief. But time does teach you how to carry difficult emotions. It ebbs and flows, sometimes calm and other times utterly overwhelming. Grief takes on shapes, but it never truly ends. A few years later, I found myself on the other side of the magic. From ages 7 to 12, I worked at a local steakhouse as a holiday elf. The costume was itchy green felt with jingle bells stitched to the hem, and my salary was $15 in a tan envelope at the end of the night. I passed out gingerbread cookies, held doors open for guests, and posed for photos in front of a 20-foot Christmas tree, and I often tried not to sneak too many cookies myself. But soon I noticed something more profound. The way children's faces lit up, the whispers of their wishes, and the smiles of all their parents watching them. I realized I was creating, for strangers, the same sense of wonder my mom had created for me. Even small gestures could anchor someone's day, just like his letters had anchored mine. I didn't just wear a costume, but I was offering belief, joy, and steadiness to others, even while navigating my own grief. That experience taught me that creating light for others, even when your own world feels dark, is extremely powerful. Sheryl Sandberg, someone who frequently opens up about grief and resilience, became my TedEd mentor. She explained to me that there's no right way to grieve and no set timeline, but you can find moments of joy again. And finding happiness doesn't mean you've moved on or forgotten. It means you've learned how to keep going with the person you lost still in your heart. Her words reaffirmed my understanding that belief, whether in hope, community, religion, or magic, isn't a luxury we wait for when life gets easy. It's a tool we use when life gets hard. Belief doesn't erase grief, but it can stand beside it, help carry us, and build us up. Grief can look different for everyone. It can be the loss of a parent, a friend, the future you had imagined, or even the disappointment of missing out on something you worked hard for. So if you aren't grieving, I want you to remember this. Kindness matters. You never know who is carrying unseen pain or barely holding on. A gentle word, a small act of care, or simply showing up might be the only softness they feel that day. And if you are grieving, I want you to remember that belief in anything bigger than yourself can propel you forward. Even when your world feels dark, creating small moments of light for others is also a form of strength. It doesn't erase the pain, but it reminds you that joy and connection can coexist with sorrow. So I want to end with a letter, not to Tommy or to my younger self, but to all of us. Dear everyone, grief doesn't fade away, but neither does your strength or your capacity to love deeply. You don't have to leave the pain behind to move forward. You can simply learn to walk with it. Some days will feel heavy, others light, but each one is proof you're still moving. And when life feels unsteady, hold on to the quiet things that keep you going, like love, hope, and connection. You are not alone, and even when the night feels endless, morning will always find its way back. With love, Hadley.